Hey guys, it's Hippokittie here today, and today we're going to be talking about no one other than Gigi Allin. Let's talk. Now, Gigi Allin was a punk rock musician, though he probably could be connected as a shock rock musician. He was born, actually, ironically, in 1956, so well before the punk revolution took effect. He was born Jesus Christ Allen, later changing his name to Kevin Michael Allen in 1962 after his mother and his father got divorced. It was actually his father that named him Jesus Christ Allen, as he was a what they would call a Bible thumper. Now, his early music influences were things like Aerosmith, as well as the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the David Clark Five. But then, as the 70s rolled around, Alice Cooper became a pretty big influence, as well as the Stooges, which did affect his sound quite a bit. Now, him and his brother both played in bands. They even did the band together. It was called Little Sisters Date. Now, the problem with this band is it didn't last very long. It was only about a year, a little bit over, and it was all like Aerosmith and Kiss and other hard rock covers. Nothing original. Well, that quickly changed whenever he actually started recording a couple of other things, and he became the frontman of the Jabbers, going from drums with his brother and the Little Sisters Date to actually vocals. Now, the Jabbers themselves actually ended up not lasting very long either, as Allin grew what they refer to as uncontrollable and vicious. They did end up breaking up after that, but he did play in other bands afterwards, including the Cedar Street Sluts and the Scumfucks. Then the Texas Nazis, he also played with in 1985. These were all pretty much underground hardcore bands, like hardcore punk, not just hardcore that you hear today kind of thing. Now, he had a big problem with drugs and a little bit of an egomaniac. He did have a few problems, at least I view mentally. That's mostly all covered in his hated documentary, where he talks about his personal beliefs about death and life and everything like that. He even talks about in there, as well as his last interviews, about different things about himself that I don't feel like I need to go into because they've already been got over by him. Now, one thing that does bother me is you can actually hear the change in his tone between his early works with the Jabbers and some of his last works. He didn't really stick with the same sound, which understandable, updating and changing throughout the years just to fit better with what's going on with your life currently. But it was what triggered the change that bothers me. He ended up going to jail quite frequently, from what I understand. I don't have enough sources to actually tell me how he's been to jail, and that was a problem. Now, I am a fan of the music in general. There are some CDs of his that I just don't really like, but I do enjoy quite a bit of them. So that's why I wanted to do it. Let's talk about this today. Now, right now, you can actually look into him a bit more, but I'm going to go over just a couple of small things here, just so you understand. Gigi Allin was a bit of a crazy person. He would, as you probably heard, knowing about Gigi Allin, he would defecate, urinate on his fans as well as on stage, and rub it on himself. He would cut himself. he would bash his head until he bled, things like that. And that actually falls back to his beliefs. He believes, according to his G.G. Allin manifesto, that he was the body to be a temple of rock and roll, that his flesh and blood and bodily fluids were communion to the fans. So he was trying to treat it like a religious aspect. Now, he also, with that belief, believed that it would be best for him to die on top. He, throughout the 80s and early 90s, before he actually did die, talked about constantly killing himself on Halloween each year. Now, from what I understand, it didn't work because he ended up in jail for a long time and ended up in jail over and over again before he could do it. But he believed that once he died, that his spirit would go on and rock on, kind of thing. What ended up killing him, ironically, was the most common thing for musicians, something that he was trying not to be. It was a heroin overdose. He pleaded that he was different, that he wanted everyone to be individual. He was what they would consider an individualist and an anti-authoritarian. He wanted to be different, he wanted to be himself, but he went out just like so many other musicians did. And that's what's funny about it. At his funeral, which I got a picture right here. At his funeral, though, his brother made sure that the coroner didn't wash him, didn't do anything like that, not any normal preparation. Only thing they did is make sure he put his leather jacket and his jockstrap that he often would wear on him, and then they put a bottle of Jim Beam next to him, just like he requested in one of his songs. I think the song was called When I Die. Let me check real quick. Yeah, When I Die. Yeah. It's one of the albums I'm not a big fan of. And the people that went to the funeral then were putting different items in there with them. They were pouring alcohol and putting drugs in his mouth. And from what people there said, that he literally smelled like shit because he was not washed, so he was still covered in shit and blood from the show. And when he got buried, he got put into his mother's funeral plot next to his grandmother. And to this day, people still go and like urinate and defecate right there with it, trying to show a mixture of different things, whether it be support or empathy or whatever for him. Now, G.G. Allin is a legend in the punk rock scene. He always will be. He was considered by most, including himself, the most hated musician of his time. And to this day, people still look at him as a what not to be for a musician. But there are a lot of bands that do still draw influence from him. His legend lives on, though he does not. His latest information is that he still has albums that have just come out as early as, well, as recent as 2016, which was the Uncool, Unclean, Unplugged, released by Punk Media, which is acoustic songs. And then that one after that, well, before that was in 2003, which was Rock and Roll Terrorist, released by Last Call Records. And then 3 years after his death, in 1996, the Troubadour, I can't pronounce that word, which was a compilation CD released by Mountain Records. And even the last year of his life, they had Up Against the Wall, Rowdy Beer Drinking Night, and I Am the Highest Power, released by Flying Turd Production. I wouldn't be surprised if more music or more compilations do come out based on his works. And on top of everything, he most likely will continue to live on amongst the rebellious youth, the people that just hate people. I want to end this with a snippet of one of his songs, just so you can understand where he was mentally at the end of his life. This has been Hippokittie. Remember, always follow your dreams. Peace, peace.
Bring up my face with your fucking dude in your fucking face.